Hi, greetings and Assalamualaikum plus a very good day to my lovely lecturer Mr. Tan and also our exceptional audience for today. So as you may know or not know, my name is Muhammad Faiz Ammar bin Muhammad Faidzal, coming from PESL 2 PPISMP and also a training teacher at Institute Pendidikan Guru Kampus Tuan Kumpainun. So for today, I would like to show you my digital presentation, which is I'm going to discuss about our Malaysian education system based on Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia PPPM and Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia Quality at Sekolah SCAS, which is our currently quality framework. And also in this presentation, I will analyze about our direction of education, examine its implications on our teachers, and also explore key in educational aspirations. Plus, in my presentation, I will relate and emphasize the role or the character in our teachers with the educator's ethos, and I will also reflect on how the teachers will be the responsible or the responsibility in shaping our future generation. And also as a future educator, I would like to obviously reflect on my own commitment towards these educational fields. So, what are you guys waiting for? Let's check it out for our presentation. Whoosh. Now, as we can see about our previous videos and situation before, we can see how the same classroom actually can produce two different types of outcomes. Because when it comes into the first situation, we can see how the students being active, engaged, and also critical with their own teachers and their learning. But when it comes into the second situation, the students become passive, and also they are being boring and also disengaged with their own learning and their own teachers. And yeah, to be frank, this difference can be not only determined by the system alone, but it's actually by the how teachers interpret and implement their own educational aspirations towards their students. So, what can we actually relate with our discussions for today? To begin with, we know that the Malaysian education system guided by two important frameworks. So, what is it? Let's find it now.
So now, as what we can understand about Sistem Kualiti Pendidikan Malaysia, aka SKAS, serve as a current quality assurance framework that evaluates school performance and teaching effectiveness.
Okay, as what we know, the Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia (PPM) is a national policy framework that outlines the long-term aspiration, goals, and transformation of education in Malaysia back in 2013 until 2015. Yes, as what we can see before, together, this framework shaped not only about the structure and direction of education, but it is also emphasis about the professional roles, responsibilities, and identity of teachers. This shows that education is not only about policy design, but it shows how those policies translated into our school practices and classroom realities. Understand?
Yes!
Now, we're gonna discuss about what is SKAS in our education. So basically, we have the Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia Quality at Sekolah, or SKAS, that consists 9 aspects and 5 standards, functions as a holistic framework for evaluating school quality and effectiveness in today's educational context. So, SKAS places strong emphasis on continuous improvement, meaningful learning, student-centered practices, and the overall quality of school performance. One of the most important areas within this framework is teaching and learning, because it directly reflects the competence, readiness, and effectiveness of teachers in the classroom. Through this framework, teachers are expected to create learning experiences that are engaging, meaningful, inclusive, and responsive to students' needs. Yes, this clearly shows that teachers are no longer seen merely as transmitters of information. Instead, they are expected to become facilitators of learning who guide students in constructing understanding, applying knowledge, and developing their potential holistically. More importantly, SKAS suggests that quality teaching does not stand alone. It is closely connected to the broader school environment, leadership support, and student outcomes. Correct. This means that teacher quality is both a personal professional responsibility and a key part of the school's overall effectiveness. Therefore, Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia Quality at Sekolah, or we call as SKAS, defines teachers as professionals who must demonstrate pedagogical competence, adaptability, accountability, and commitment in delivering quality education towards their students and also upon their schools nowadays. Next, we look at the definitions of PPPM 2013 to 2025, or we call as Pelan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia. So, the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025 PPPM is a comprehensive national policy that outlines the long-term vision and strategic direction of the Malaysian education system. It aims to transform education to meet global standards while preserving national identity and values. So, the blueprint introduces systematic reforms through key aspirations and transformation shifts. It emphasizes holistic student development, quality teaching, and equitable access to education. PPPM serves as a guiding framework that shapes both institutional practices and also the professional expectation of teachers nowadays. we are gonna take a look into the deep analysis of SCARS, which is Standard 4 and their aspects. So, as we know, the Standard Quality Pendidikan Malaysia Quality at Sekolah or SCARS includes several key aspects that guide teaching effectiveness in schools. One important aspect is instructional management, which is closely related to our Standard 4 that we are emphasizing for today, is teaching and learning. This aspect emphasizes that effective teaching is not only about delivering content, but about designing structured and meaningful learning experiences. Teachers are expected to plan lessons clearly, apply appropriate teaching strategies, and ensure active student engagement. Students are no longer passive learners, but active participants in constructing knowledge. In addition, continuous assessment and feedback are important, as teachers must monitor student progress and improve their teaching practices. This shows that teaching is a continuous process of planning, implementation, and reflection. From this perspective, teacher effectiveness depends on how well learning is facilitated, not just what is taught. Overall, Standard 4 highlights that teachers are not only content deliverers, but facilitators of learning and key drivers of educational quality. PPM aspirations. For your information, the Malaysia Education Blueprint outlines both system aspirations and student aspiration. Plus, both are highly relevant in understanding the purpose of education in our Malaysia. Among the system aspirations, quality is especially significant because it reflects the effectiveness of educational delivery and the extent to which students are able to achieve meaningful learning outcomes. At the same time, student aspirations such as thinking skills and ethics are equally important, as they highlight the goal of developing individuals who are intellectually capable, morally grounded, and socially responsible. So, these aspirations clearly indicate that education is not limited to academic achievement alone. Rather, it aims to develop balanced, thoughtful, and ethical individuals who are prepared to contribute positively to society. As a result, teachers must move beyond simply delivering content. They must help students think critically, act responsibly, and grow as whole persons. This demonstrates that the aspirations of PPPM Pelan Pembangunan Malaysia are deeply connected to the everyday work of teachers, especially in guiding students towards holistic development nowadays. Moving to the side of PPM aspirations, which is we're gonna explain next about PPPM focus on Shift 4. So, one of the most relevant dimensions of the Malaysia Education Blueprint for this presentation is Shift 4, which focuses on transforming teaching into the profession of choice. This shift is highly significant because it recognizes a fundamental principle: the quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. For that reason, Shift 4 emphasizes the importance of attracting high-performing individuals into the teaching profession, strengthening teacher preparation, and ensuring continuous professional development throughout a teacher's career. It also reflects a broader effort to elevate teaching as a respected, competitive, and impactful profession that plays a central role in national development. This is consistent with global findings that show high-performing education systems prioritize teacher quality as a major factor in achieving educational excellence. Therefore, Shift 4 makes it clear that improving education does not begin only with curriculum reform or policy changes. It begins with investing in teachers, strengthening their professionalism, and recognizing their value as nation builders. Analytical connection, which is analysis for SCARS and PPPM 2013 to 2025 together. When we analyze both frameworks together, SCARS and Shift 4 of PPPM present a coherent direction for educational transformation. SCARS defines the quality standard of teaching and learning, while Shift 4 focuses on developing teachers to meet those expectations. This shows that educational reform is not only about policies, but also about the capability, mindset, and professionalism of teachers together. Therefore, teachers act as the bridge between educational policy and classroom practice. This alignment reflects a systemic transformation where educational quality is not only defined by structures, but by the professional capacity of teachers to enact these structures effectively beyond our country. As for the implications on teachers, let's take a look at our next scene, which is about the analyze deep into implications.
Let's go!
The implication of these frameworks on teachers are notable nowadays. Due to that, teachers must transition their own self from being knowledge transmitters into facilitators, innovators, and mentors toward their students and also upon their school. So for your information, teachers are expected today to adapt and innovate and respond to changing learning needs as what been mentioned before from World Bank 2018. By what? Teachers are expected to integrate technology, and they also promote critical thinking and support students' emotional development. So yeah, from these transformations, it also requires a lot of things, which is adaptability, continuous learning, and also strong professional development. What can we link about educators' ethos in our nation with our discussion? So, at the center of effective teaching lies the educator's ethos. An educator's ethos includes professionalism, empathy, integrity, dedication, and genuine commitment to students' growth and well-being. These values are essential because teachers do not only teach lessons, they will also be a model attitudes, shape behavior, influence values, and also build students' confidence. This means that teaching is not merely a technical profession. It is also a moral and human responsibility to our nation. A teacher with strong professional ethos is more likely to create a positive learning environment, inspire students meaningfully, and contribute to the overall quality of education. For this reason, the character of teachers should never be seen as secondary in our eyes. It is central to the spirit of education itself. Hi girls!
Hey!
Oh my god, so you're Ainos, right?
Yes, I know.
And you are TESOL students?
Of course.
Okay, so since you are a training teacher in this IPG,
Yeah.
I have one question regarding to our education and teachers role.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so the question is like this. What makes a teacher effective in their own classroom?
Okay, in my opinion, an effective teacher is someone who can explain clearly, ensure the students understand the lesson, and also encourage the student. Because you know what, nowadays the students, there are various type of students, and we never expect what type of students we are gonna teach. So some of them might be very active, but some of them are passive, you know. So we as a teacher, we need to be upgraded in every aspect, especially in technology use.
Yes.
And also, as you asked, what makes a teacher effective? I think by upgrading themselves, because we are teaching students, and nowadays students, they are so updated to trends. So we need to follow up the trends to make them engage in our lesson.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is I'm partially agree with that. So sounds knowledgeable. And yeah, thank you, Ainul, for the responding.
Much welcome.
Yeah, so that's all. So hi Shiva.
Okay.
Are you free for today?
Yeah, sure.
Because I have some questions for you regarding our education.
Oh.
So the question is gonna be something like this. How do actually teachers influence students beyond their academics?
Beyond academic, well, teachers will influence students by shaping their attitude, confidence, and also their motivation, what we call motivation to learn. And also, teachers also guide students values and behavior, because we as a teacher, as a role model to the student, they will follow us in terms of good behavior and our values. So as a teacher, we must have a good attitude to the students.
I'm agree
That
with
is
you.
my answer.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Shifa, for the answer, and it's good.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, from this interview, we can see how all of the students consistently emphasize that the most effective teachers are those who are passionately understanding, engaging, and supportive towards their own students. And also, yes, the importance of student-teacher relationship in our meaningful learning can be reflected. Plus, we can also reflect how the students directly influence students' learning experience in their own life. Okay, from all of the explanation and interviewing session before, we can take a look at the student perspective in this discussion. So, students actually value teachers who are engaging, approachable, and emotionally supportive in their learning process. Plus, a positive teacher-student relationships will always contribute significantly to motivation, participation, and classroom confidence. Moreover, learners are more responsive to teachers who demonstrate empathy, understanding, and encouragement in their classroom. To add in, these perspectives reinforce the importance of educators' ethos in creating meaningful plus inclusive learning experiences. So yeah, the student voice highlights that effective teaching is not only instructional, but also relational and human-centered to all of us. Moving to our next talk, which is about future's aspirations. So, what is it actually? In the future, we know that education must prepare students for global challenges because future education emphasizes adaptability, innovation, and global competencies. Insights from UNESCO and OECD highlight the importance of critical thinking, adaptability, and innovation. This aligns with the aspirations outlined in our PPPM Plan Pembangunan Malaysia 2013 to 2025 lately. The integration of digital technologies enhances learning experiences in our classroom. On the other hand, teachers must continuously evolve to guide students in this rapidly changing world. Plus, the teachers also need to evolve continuously to remain relevant in critical thinking among their students. This future-oriented perspective aligns closely with the broader aspirations of Malaysian education, which aim to produce learners who are capable, ethical, resilient, and ready for the demands of the future. To add on, the education prepares students to navigate complex future challenges among them and also among our nation. Oh, guys, to be frank, my heart is strongly agree and approve that the character and personal values of teachers reflect the true spirit of an educator, and it is significantly influence our quality of education. As a teacher, we need professionalism, integrity, and empathy because it will directly shape our students' attitudes, motivation, and their learning experiences. Yes, without strong personal values, even the best educational frameworks such as SCARS or PPPM may not even be effectively implemented, especially to our educators nowadays. So we just need to emphasize and make more practices about it. Consequently, Fluent 2014 also highlighted that the success of these educational transformations always and frequently depends on how teachers internalize or translate these frameworks into a meaningful classroom practices. Yes, as a future educator, I am passionately committed and strongly promise to continuously improving myself and upholding strong ethical standards in my teaching and learning practices, because I know that teachers play a crucial role in shaping society and our national development. To illustrate with, as you can see over here, this is all the references and citations that I use to give my explanation, elaboration, analysis, and also discussion for our topics today. In a nutshell, the Malaysian education system, guided by PPPM and SCARS, emphasizes the critical role of teachers and also places our teachers at the center of transformation. As an educators like me, we must understand and internalize these frameworks to fulfill our responsibilities effectively. Plus, because of educational transformation always depends on how teachers are shaping their students and also internalize and implement our aspirations. By embodying strong professional values and adapting to educational fields of aspirations, we as a teacher are not only able to shape our students, but also shaping the future of our society and nation. Ultimately, what can I say? Teachers are not only educators, but we are the nation builders who are shaping the future. So yeah, that's all from now. Thank you for lending your ear, and I hope you like my discussions. So I am Faidzal signing off. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.